Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rijal Al-Mughni. I'm here to present my scientific paper about the impact of promiscuity for teens and why I picked this title. The reason is really simple because I want to know how teens right now in this century can survive from promiscuity. That's it. Hey, let's start with I'm explain the background, problem formulation, research objectivities, limitation problem, methods, and further research. Alright, let's start with the background. We certainly know that promiscuity is a form deviant behavior which is free in a question. Is a path for is the boundaries of existing norms. That's it, the background. Alright, let's next to problem formulation. The problem formulation is which can be used to be center of attention, and events are: number one is what impact promiscuity sex free on the health of adolescent age from age 12 to 15 years old. Research objectivities. Based on the problem that have been formulated, objectives are achieved. Knowing the impact of promiscuity sex free of the health of adolescents aged 12 to 15 years. Knowing the impact of promiscuity sex free on the mentality and adolescent health age 12 to 15 years old. The limitation problem. And according with the above accordation, the provide research or scope, the author assert that the material is only scientific. Papers on the impact of promiscuity sex free to the mentality and health age 12 to 15 years. Limitation problem. In accordance with the above description to provide a research or scope, the author asserts that the material is only scientific paper on the impact of promiscuity sex free to the mentality and health at age 12 to 15 years. Next, it's the method. Research time. The experiment was conducted in Banjarmasin, S. Lampung on Thursday, 2 June 2019. Research methodology. The method used is as follows: 1. Interview methods, and 2. Method of the literature. And loss is subject. People who will be the subject of research is a doctor named Physican Suits. Alright, the last one is procedure research. In conducting this research, there are several steps. 1. Planning phase. Search for and find a search to make wawancara is like ask the interviews like interview, but and number 2 is preparation phase. In this stage, prepare a list of questions that will be used to interview and create a table for the content of the research. That's it for the methods and limit problem. As we know, that is as background for chapter 1, and yeah, let's move to next is in a result and discussion. Research finding. After interviewing the doctor remarks, the author obtained the following result from doctor, and according to the result, lot of impact, especially following health and mentality and its effect. Lots of suffering. The impact for the teen is not historical. Nightmare many times, and suicidal. Child drugs, and enjoy the sex if he or she getting married, and feeling haunted scene, fear of pregnancy, weak ties on both sides that lead of the failure after married, and insult the community. Shouldn't that do the bleeding? Shouldn't that do to analysis failing? And the discussion is in this study the effect of the mentality and adolescent health at the age of 12 to 15 years as the impact of the mentality of suffering loss of self, screaming nightmares many times about the baby, suicidal, coke, drugs, and cannot enjoy intercourse, care such a sudden death due to bleeding, due to sudden show, due to a serious infection around the tears, damage to the surface, cervical lacerations, which will cause subsequent disability in the childhood, breast cancer, ovarian cancer. All the cancer. If I mean all the um, all the all the mentality and bad mentality, and from the result of the research on the health effect of mentality and adolescents at the age uh, 12 to 15 years, found a lot of negative things that affect like the mentality, loss of self-esteem showed the highest ratings. The highest rating are down due to the mentality of promiscuity, sex free, as well as others such as desperism, mentality, screaming, repeated nightmare, promiscuity, committed by teens before the actual time in which the is HIV or AIDS, the most dominant and the most dangerous. While the have certainly been the effect of the disease is highly lethal because if it is the infected by this virus, all citizens will suffering from the same virus as well. As those who infected with HIV or AIDS, apart from HIV and or AIDS, are other diseases such as venereal disease, meloding disease that cannot be underestimated because the diseases attack the genitals. This is for the discussion. Let's next to the last. I want to give conclusion and suggestion. The conclusion is for me is free association free sex has a lot of negative rather than positive effect for adolescents. In addition, it has a lot of casualties caused by promiscuity or sex free, such as infection by the HIV or AIDS is a terrible disease. And until now, there is no cure for HIV or AIDS because there was really seriously there was seriously bad things like so not too many people can help from the HIV or AIDS. Yeah. And although other diseases that might be a better cure for preventing youth before it's too late. And my suggestion is for all the kids, all the teens, please don't be too 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 high for promiscuity because it's a bad thing. There is no good thing for that. It's like you can go play with your right friends. You can go with your really good friends, like show things away from promiscuity, sexuality, and show better understand that promiscuity isn't culture, and there is no positive impact on young people, and parents are advised to pay more attention to their teens to their children, so that things cannot happen. They are not they're not happen to their child. So yeah, that's it. That is my scientific paper for all. I'm sorry if I had a mistake. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm not a perfect human too. It's like I hope you guys can understand me. It's like yeah. And one more time, at least but not least, um, um, uh, ya, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.